Hello, hi, and welcome again to the Terminal Podcast, where in the end, it's all about the numbers. I am your host. We are broadcasting high above Civic Center Station. The numbers from here around Metro Atlanta are 27 north on 400 to the perimeter and a little bit of traffic during the rush hour, 24 west on 20 if you want to get to Six Flags, and 21 south on 75, 85 to the airport if you're just flying in. We are a week away, one exact week away from the trade deadline, I believe. Chris, what is the biggest trade deadline move you remember that pops the head when you think trade deadline? What comes to mind?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a hell of a question.
Yeah, I got stuck on it myself, even though I wrote it. I sat there and trying to think, what's
Hmm.
the Mets' biggest trade deadline one? I guess people say Cespedes, but I wasn't a huge fan of it because I feel like we gave up a lot to
Yeah,
get him.
but
But
it helped in the immediacy.
oh yeah, no, it worked. It worked out in the end.
Um,
But
I'm trying to think of like a real big one. There's some big one we're missing from the
I
early
feel like
2000s.
Randy Johnson went somewhere and went 10-1, and I feel like
Oh,
his
yeah. That would,
or
well,
was it?
I would say, well, three of them. You like Randy Johnson went to the Astros.
Yeah.
Carlos Beltran went to the
Oh,
Astros maybe that same year, or maybe another year, and they wound up almost going to the World Series, right? Didn't he go crazy? He went bananas at like 400.
yeah.
And CC Sabathia
CC.
went to
I didn't
Milwaukee and did the same thing, went like 10-1. He hit a
10 and
bunch of
1.
home runs and led the Brewers to the playoffs in 2008 or whatever before he
I
signed with the Yankees.
I'm gonna I'm going to talk about this. I've got this scheduled for next week after they go in, but CC's this week
Yes.
with Ichiro.
Yes.
I didn't it completely blank. I just always think of CC and the fact that he was around and he pitched well. He's got the Cy Young early. I didn't realize he made it to 3,000 strikeouts.
Yes.
And that's it. You're in. It doesn't matter what you get to 3,000
And
strikeouts.
250 wins.
Oh,
Like
I mean,
300 wins is impossible because you don't start enough games.
yeah, it's not going to happen anymore.
So
But
250 wins is pretty darn good.
so is 250 the new 300?
Yeah, I would say
See,
close.
and I'm not even going to because I would eventually. This is a show about baseball, and that's a topic for another day, which is actually the next episode. But this specific Mets up. It's usually to recap the latest Mets numbers at the
Just
start of the rotation.
just
Go
briefly,
ahead.
he went 11-2 with 7 complete games and 3 shutouts with a
The Mets
1.65 ERA.
the Mets this week did not have that. Although, if you look at Sean Manaea's two games, the Cincinnati start to start this rotation, and then the end of it with the Angels, he went 9 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them were earned, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts. It's against the first 4 innings, it's against the first 4 innings of the Reds, and then the first 5 innings of the Angels. But he hasn't gotten to that point yet, and he also, isn't CC Sabathia. But you know, 2-1. The overall staff ERA is still 3.57, third in the league, best in the NL. The Mets also lead all NL teams with 371 free passes. We're just handing out walks like it's our job. 6 more than the Dodgers, and both the Mets and the Dodgers have more walks than the Rockies, who have walked less people than those guys. What do you? I'm talked about all that to say. Last time we were talking, you laughed at the notion of the Blue Jays finishing atop the AL East. But since then, they've completed a 4 game sweep. No, I'm sorry. They completed a 4 game sweep of your Yankees to start July, part of a 10 game run that led them to the top of the division. And then they've ended the month finishing 5 out of 6, including 2 or 3. Why do you think the Jays aren't capable of keeping this up?
History.
Oh, that's a cop out.
Not
History?
a cop out. Not a cop out. They're good. Not great. Their starting pitching is not tremendous. They got a solid lineup. They put the ball in play, which against the
Mm,
Yankees is good because the Yankees field like a little league team right now.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't think their pitching's great. Their pitching staff is not tremendous. Their starters or their bullpen.
it's it's Chris Bassett's got it. He's not their ace.
No, Gossman, Bassett,
Hmm.
good pitchers, but
Because
I don't think their pitching will hold up.
is
And because I've seen it a
Alex
million times with the Blue Jays.
okay?
And because
So
it's still not even August.
yeah, it's not even August yet. Alex Manoah comes back, All Star in
Alec
2023.
Manoah, I don't think he's been in the pros in 3 years.
I thought they were getting some type of a starter back, or no? That was the whole thing. I thought he was coming back in August from some sort of injury. Yeah, no, he was an all-star for a hot second, and then he got injured, and I thought he was to be coming back to make them. I'm just trying to think of why the Rays, these are. I don't go ahead. You're looking it up, but I don't see American League teams, so I can talk about this. I've gotten to see Mike Trout for the last 3 games, and it was great. I'm not going to see him again at Citi Field while he's still Mike Trout. You know what I mean? He's not Mike
He's
Trout
not Mike
now,
Trout. I saw
but
him the other day.
he's as close to Mike Trout as I'm going to get to see
Right.
before he's no longer. Yeah, I mean, like you saw him a couple times, I'm
You've
sure,
seen him. I mean, he's been in the league forever. You guys have
but
played.
but you're right. But this is the lone benefit of interleague play. But people like me who only watch Met games and will fall asleep if they did go out to California. We got to see him at Citi Field, 7 o'clock start time, 1 o'clock afternoon game on Wednesday. Yeah, it was nice. I mean that's the one benefit of interleague play is that the stars of the American League, like I never really saw Kirby Puckett. You probably saw a couple series against Kirby
Well,
Puckett.
yeah,
I mean, what?
yeah, back then.
Yeah, I mean, but when there was no interleague play, when the only time you saw somebody was in the All-Star game of the World Series, it's like I didn't see those guys ever. I saw Paul Monitor. I feel like because he at the end he came over and played in the. No, I'm sorry. He was a Brewer and then became a Blue Jay, or am I got that backwards?
When the Blue Jay, yeah, it was all over the place.
But it's like players like that switched leagues and were all stars in both sides. People got to see, but there are a lot of people that people didn't get to see. That's the one benefit of interleague play. I really besides that and eventually do you with all the futuristic as I'm leaving out, I'm gonna I'm gonna call it ISO in a sec, but do you suspect at some point that we're gonna have a more generic breakdown of when it comes to baseball? They're gonna they've already sort of with interleague play sort of meshed the National League and the American League into one sort of league. Did at some point they just rearrange everything completely?
I think so soon. We had this discussion last year on the podcast when I was saying that there no longer should be an AL MVP and an NL MVP.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, no, is that it? Because if so,
Yeah, no, no. I mean, yeah. Again, I think we talked about it and just saying. I mean, we know some of the reasons are financial, but realistically, it's one big league now. It is.
yeah. Uh, I'm calling the ISO, so you get to listen because as far as the Mets go, this is the team we got. I'm the guy who will watch the 20-minute press conference of David Stearns that he has with the whole everybody and listening to that press conference. This is it. The team that they've got right now is what we're going with. That's the list. The only true spot that anybody can talk trade wise would be center field. And it comes to center field, the player's got to be better than the combination of Jeff McNeil for the first 6 innings and then Tyrone Taylor as defensive replacement late. So you've got to be better than that, and then worthy enough to take the timeout from the youth movement. That is because you're going to move Jeff McNeil to second base, so because he's now so there's less spots for Mendoza for Carlos Mendoza and move players around. Point is, I'm not saying that any of the kids are great, but they're just not going to have that time to figure out if they're going to be great or not. I don't think that that player exists to be traded, so I don't really see them moving anything except for a reliever. I've decided Mark Vientos of all the youth players, Brett Beatty, Luis Henel Acuna, obviously Francisco Alvarez isn't going anywhere, and Vientos and just Ronnie Mercutio is the other one I was leaving out. Vientos is the odd man out. If he remains on the roster, he's learning first base in the offseason, regardless of what Pete Alonso does, because Beatty and Ronnie are better fielders at third base. Beatty's better at second base, but what about Acuna and who cares? And all these are
Next year, next year, Mauricio, Vientos, and Beatty, one of those three guys will not be on the Mets.
And my hope is it's Vientos. And then
Okay.
and it's the kind of
Okay. Well,
thing
I'm just
where
saying,
no, no,
Mark Vientos was the next incarnation of fucking Nick Schmidt a year ago.
yeah, well, it was in that one breakout season, and it's the look back thing and going, well, if there was a true injury right at the like if Mania goes out for the whole season instead of just like 6 months, maybe at that point when Vientos' stock was still high, that you sell on him. Yeah, I mean, like that kind of looking back kind of thinking. But I think even at if he can have a decent end of the season, I think you sell as much as you can on Vientos to then whatever you're going to do next. But Beatty's got a better glove. Ronnie's got a better glove and bat. So, as a switch hitter. So it's kind of like, yeah, but these are all things. And this was never the year.
I disagree with you. I'm
This
just
is,
saying this.
you've said this
One
before.
of those three, if not, well, not two, but
No, one of them, I agree with you. One of them, there's not enough room. There's just not enough room on the roster to have all of you here.
did you sign
So
Pete for 1 year?
it's a 2-year deal. He's got an opt out after this one. 2 years, 50 million, 30 in the first.
He's not opted out.
He's going to renegotiate for a new deal.
Yes.
So and if that's the case, then we need he would Pete doesn't sit. So I mean, Vientos as the backup first baseman, right-handed DH,
Nah.
maybe. Exactly.
Nah.
These are all things, but this is also why this was never the Mets year. This is year 2 of David Stearns. He was getting to see what was best
No,
of the
no,
minors.
no. No. Get out of here. Shut up. Shut up. We'll turn the podcast off. This wasn't our year.
No, no, I didn't say it wasn't. It wasn't. I didn't say it wasn't our year.
You just
I'm.
said that.
It wasn't.
Supposed to be our year.
It wasn't in the plans. It still isn't in the plans. He's not. If it wasn't the plans to be our year, then you'd hear him say in the press conference, "Oh yeah, we're going to try and get it back because we need to get a third." But he's not saying that. He's saying we're pretty much done. This is what we've got. We're going to get some relief help, and that's it. That's a general manager, a POBO, who's saying this isn't. This is what we got. This is it. That's it. This is what we got. This is what we're going to war with.
But this is your year.
Why does it make it our year?
Because this is what your owner wanted and what your owner said, and why you signed Juan Soto. Don't try to back off it now because
I see what
you got a mid-major GM.
I don't think we got a mid-major GM. I think. All right, we don't got a GM.
You guys are supposed to contend for the World Series title. This was your owner's edict. This is why you got him. This is Uncle Stevie. This is all the money. This is Juan Soto for 15 years and $800 billion. You can't back him now. Fuck you. I'm not hearing it. Seriously. No, fuck you. You have to contend for the World Series. I don't care if you don't trade for anybody. I don't care if you trade.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I apologize. No. They're supposed to make the playoffs. They're supposed to make
no. Make the playoffs. The Cleveland Guardians make the playoffs, buddy. Okay.
Well, and
we almost beat the Dodgers last year. Is the shit I hear from we did better against the Dodgers than the Yankees did.
And like I said,
we both lost to the Dodgers. That's what happened.
Like we said last week, we've got the 1-2-3 with Senga, Peterson, and Mania to go in the playoff rotation. We've got Clay Holmes as the fourth or a long man.
There's some fat guy on the podcast that's going to be in New York City in late October. The idea for that trip is to go to a World Series game.
That would be kind of crazy if it happened that way, wouldn't it? Huh. I really honestly was not thinking about that at all. It's like I was going in my head going, I'll just go out to Citi Field just to say I went there and maybe take a picture because I want to say the Seaver statue's outside, something like that. Yeah, it's like I was just going to go there, just see that and take that. I'm certainly not thinking that way because
you Ryan sack of weasel shit. It might be in a text that you said that.
All right, that's a question for the future. I'm gonna get out of this. So, what's the future for the trade deadline? With a week to go, what do you foresee? What's your prognostications, Dr. Farthing? What do you foresee as you continue to look back at incriminating evidence against my what? I would be great to go to a playoff game if it was there, but I
I
can't
don't
truly
know.
expect a playoff game. What do you think's going to happen? Anything? What's the biggest thing? Better question, what do you think your team's going to do?
We have to get a third baseman. But everything I read is that they've had no significant talks with the Diamondbacks about Suarez. They don't want Suarez. They're not high on Suarez. Well, we need a third baseman. And then I read a thing today. They're not Suarez, McMahon, or Key Brian Hayes. Well, those are the three guys because we got Yorbeat Vivas playing third base right now.
Yeah, no, you guys do need a third baseman.
Mhm.
Slide back, but
I don't,
is that
I don't
it?
think they're going to go crazy for a starting pitcher. Again, I know a starter's been up and down a little bit, but Rodon and Fried gave us games that we could win in the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
We booted the ball around. We made 6 errors last night. Okay, Max Fried made one of them, but and obviously bullpen arms are always we've talked about that, right? And you sent me that thing. We talked about the bullpen. Great.
Everybody needs a bullpen arm.
Yeah,
It's
but the Yankees have to get a third baseman. Now
right.
there's talk that the prospect Spencer Jones has 16 home runs in 19 games in AAA, which I'm not a genius, but that sounds pretty good.
That sounds pretty good. Is he a third baseman or is that the
No,
guy
he's
you
an
want to move?
outfielder. So now they're saying maybe move Trent Grisham to help get a third baseman and bring Spencer Jones up.
Oh, so okay. Well, these are all things. That's one of the trade question deadlines. That was my first one, which is Suarez. So is Suarez going to be the biggest bat that gets moved? Or in
I
your,
think, I mean, there's no, I know you're going to say Diamondbacks, oh, we have to get a good haul. Get the best haul you can and get rid of him. You don't need him.
yeah,
He's not in your long term plans.
got to move him.
He's got 36
So
and 86. Again, oh, he strikes out. He only bats 250. Okay, but he's got 36 and 86. So he drives
and
in
he's
runs.
and he's a decent club at third.
Yeah,
All right,
decent
so
glove.
Suarez, free agent for the Arizona team who was in the playoffs, has had history of making runs, just getting in and making
Mm-hmm.
runs, but is likely to sell at least Suarez. The Guardians are about that same thing, and they've got Jose Ramirez, who's like Kirby Puckett, who's a
Mm-hmm.
guy who's in the AL who I see highlights of, and I'm like, that guy's amazing, but I've not seen him.
Oh,
I mean,
he's so good.
I, I mean, like I'm not gonna watch a Guardians game to watch Jose Ramirez. I want to see him against my team. I'm not gonna see. I'll get like one chance. I think. I mean, that's what I'm saying before. But he's there. They're kind of in the mix, but they're not. Do they trade Emmanuel Clase, and is he the biggest arm relieving haul that happens?
Yeah, I mean, he's on the block. Again, it's one of these things where if you're a good GM and their GM is what's his face? His dad used to be the
Yeah.
he used to run WFAN radio. Um,
Ooh,
God, I can't think of his name, but
okay.
you have Clase, Quan, and Ramirez. Like
Yeah.
I think I said it. I think I said it 2 weeks ago about the Diamondbacks. Like you have a chance to reset
Well,
your
they're
minor
not.
leagues.
They're not trading Jose Ramirez
Well, if you're getting rid of Class A, what are you keeping Jose Ramirez around for?
because he's a generational player that's a switch hitter that's
Okay,
good.
and he's 32 years old.
Is he 32?
Let's see,
I thought he was like
uh,
either way.
32.
Wow. Hmm.
Right? He's been in the league 13 years. Your World Series window,
Oh yeah,
realistically, doesn't have Jose Ramirez in it,
probably.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Well,
doesn't have Stephen Kwan, especially if we're getting rid of Class A, one of the best closers in baseball.
I was gonna say Quan's but yeah, if you move one, then I just don't know if anybody has at this point, does anybody have enough that you are not gonna feel completely gypped if you trade Jose Ramirez right now? I mean, like that, is there anybody who's got that much of a need that's gonna give that much up for once again a generational talent? Or you guys, let me rephrase that. Would you because he plays third base, doesn't he?
Yeah, mildly.
Would you take him at third base and give up?
I'm going to just check his third base numbers. Oh no, okay, so yeah, he's played a lot. He's played 97 games at third. No,
Yeah.
no. I was looking at Eugenio Suarez. Sorry, I had 2 tabs open. I was like, wait a minute. Let's see what he's done. Okay, no, he's played 80. He's played 80 games at third base. Yeah, I'd take Jose Ramirez, but
Well,
you're getting rid of your top two prospects to get
that's
Jose.
what I'm saying. Would you be willing to give up your top two, and then if they said top two and give us a young arm, I mean, and give us something else, because once again, we're giving you the guy who's that we're gonna watch beat us for the next couple of years.
Yeah, but again, not beat you. You're not in that class. You're not in the playoff class in the American League.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting conversation. So, which of these four starters goes? Of these four, which goes, and in what order? Seth Lugo of Kansas City, Merrill Kelly, and or Zach Gallen with the Diamondbacks. Because apparently, if they're in sell mode, that's the whole thing. If they're in sell mode,
Some of
then
them, again, like I said, Suarez, those two rebuild your minors.
Sandy out now. That's, I guess I'll leave Sandy for the later question. But do you see one, two, or three, as if because we're all looking into our crystal balls and know what's happening? You see any of those three moving?
I think Seth Lugo. I
Yeah,
think that's a great,
yeah.
great move for people that could use a starting pitcher.
The Met fan in me is going.
How about a team in a pressure cook city like New York where you know he can be successful? Oh, wait a minute.
The administration at the time wasn't willing to let
No,
Seth
no, no, no.
Lugo
I'm
be the
not saying
starter.
no,
No, no,
but
I'm saying that
you know
I'm
what Seth
saying that
Lugo looks like in City Field.
Oh, I'm saying that as a Met fan, I'm going, the administration at the time wasn't going to let him do what he needed to try and do. It's
Right.
good for him. I never was sad. I was sad to see him go, but I never was like, that guy. I was always like, good. I hope he gets to be a successful starter. He's got
Yeah.
the stuff for it. He's a successful starter. He's got the stuff for it. I don't think he can come back to Queens, but I mean, he can come back to Queens, in the off season if we sign him as,
Right.
something like that. But I don't think they
You know, I'm
trade
not
him
saying you
or
give up something big for him, but I think Seth Lugo's a big arm someone could make
definitely,
or break a team, for going to the
mm-hmm,
World Series.
definitely.
2.95 ERA in 19 starts this year. That's pretty darn
That's
good.
this year, and it was after the top five Cy Young finish last year, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, let's
he's
see. Let's see. He
either way.
finished second in the Cy Young.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, second. So, so the big arm who's got a Cy Young is Mr. Alcantara in Florida,
Yes.
and there's it's for those that don't know. Sandy is returning from Tommy John surgery. He missed
Mhm.
all of 2024.
Yes.
This is him back in 2025 pitching after missing that entire year. Everybody says it's usually an 18th month process. It can happen in 12. He's doing it now. The Marlins got to sell, right? They got to move him, even if it's just or in your or do they? I think they kind of have to move him.
Yeah,
But
I think so too.
now, if you're the team taking him, how much are you giving up to get him? Because the Marlins are going to say he's damaged goods. Look at the ERA and everything like that. And you're also then betting that your pitching, your staff, I mean, your pitching lab, your
Right.
pitching guru is going to be able to get the talent out that didn't he just go like 7 like in his last start and went back
Yeah.
to looking like the Cy Young Sandy Alcantara who was dominant
And
for
you've got him for 2 more years.
yeah, and you get him for two more, well, player control for the next two, right? Or
No, 2026, he's under contract. 2027, team option.
so you're getting him and then you got him for a second and a half.
I mean, you got to be on the phone, right? Got to be on the
How
phone.
so the if we're talking prospects as a number gauge, how many prospects are you giving up? One, two, or three? Because the
Probably
Marlins are going
two.
to say,
Probably two because of the control.
yeah. So it's the same amount as we were just talking about, the same amount as you're probably going to give up for Class A,
Right.
right? Yeah. So that's the kind of. But Seth Lugo, it's probably one. Suarez, you're probably giving up two, right?
Nah, probably not.
Really?
Not two. Not two. Not two
No.
big ones. No.
Top prospect. Top prospect for Suarez. Top prospect, and then a minor, and then a couple of, and then
Yeah,
a
a couple
couple
of
of single A ones
single
or
A
whatever like
guys.
that.
Yeah. Again, I said this last week, and I wasn't thinking Jose Ramirez. We wound up talking about it. There's a big move that's going to happen, like you're going to make. Oh my God! Wait a minute. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
Like Sandy Alcantara is not a surprise. Lugo's not a surprise.
no,
Suarez is a surprise. Stephen Kwan's not a surprise. I don't think Class A is a surprise, but I think there's a move out there. I don't know what
okay.
it is, but it's
I
just
don't I can't think of the team he could go to, but if as we stare at the BOA building, the Bank of America building in the middle of downtown Atlanta, if the Braves who need to dump, if they move Chris Sale, is that the move you're talking about?
I
If
think that
I
could
don't
be big
know,
enough.
if the Dodgers decide, yeah, we'll just give you guys money or here's a prospect or three
I
and
think
we'll
it's a
get Chris Sale.
I think it's a big move depending on who he goes to.
Yeah.
I think he goes, and again, you're not really looking for a starting pitcher, but he goes like Yankees, Mets, Dodgers.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
big move.
that's a big move. Marzel Mar Marzel
Marcel.
Marcel, I was gonna say, I was gonna get it right at some point. Ozuna is the other name that is being talked about. He's not having the type of year he usually has, but he's a big right-handed bat. You think he moves? Because you're also taking. I'm going to say he's got a contract that you're taking on with it. It's
And
not
he
just.
was traded once to help a team win a World Series.
Oh, he went from Florida to where?
No, he went from St. Louis to Atlanta.
Oh. So, so you think he moves again? Is I guess the question. Does somebody put?
Hmm.
Because it's the point. He's a right-handed bat. He's not, but he is. He does have that pedigree. So you just talked to me about history before.
Oh no, he's only signed through this year. So
So
yeah,
it's a
I can't
rental.
much for him. Yeah, he's a rental.
No, the Braves are going to ask for a lot because you just cited the history as to why the
No,
Braves are going to say,
but he's a rental. So you
yeah,
don't get as
yeah.
much for a rental.
No, that's true. That's true. All right. As we close on rentals, I'm going to close with a long answer. You asked about a 10 inning game, and if a pitcher didn't allow a hit, but still
Yes, you
lost the
sent me the
game,
Harvey Haddix one, which I knew about.
did you?
Yeah,
Because that was what I was going to go off about. But that is down the rabbit hole. What for the listeners who didn't go down the rabbit hole, what constitutes a perfect game is the question. Is it pitcher not allowing a base runner, 27 up, 27 down, and only facing the allotted batters, or that his team earns the win? And can one be true without the other? There have been losing pitchers in no hitters, countless, not countless, but enough.
no, a decent amount.
64, Ken Johnson of the Houston Colt 45s became the only pitcher to lose a complete game no hitter in 9 innings when he was beaten 1-0 by the Cincinnati Reds. 5 years earlier, May 26, 1959, Pittsburgh Pirates visited Milwaukee Braves, and this is the Harvey Haddock story. Harris was a left-hander with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He had a career 3.66 ERA in 7 major league seasons at that time. He pitched a perfect game with on 78 pitches through 9 innings of a scoreless tie. He comes back out for the 10th. He held the Braves without a base runner for 2 more frames. Offense still hadn't done anything. His counterpart, would actually Lou Burdett,
Lou
Burdetti,
Burdett, yeah,
Lou Burdett, 1957 World Series MVP, Lou Burdett.
the
Thank you very much.
Braves.
Yeah. He matched Haddock 0 for 0 until the bottom of the 13th when an ominous error opened the frame, a sacrifice by Eddie Matthews. Henry Hank Aaron walked, as you know, someone smartly did, and that set up Joe Adcock on a 1-0 pitch. Adcock drove a ball over the wall in right center field. It landed between two fences, the first being the outfield fence, but Aaron, thinking it was a ground rule double because it appeared to bounce before hitting the fence from his vantage point, he wasn't able to distinguish the two. He thought the game was over when Mantilla scored the first run, so he stopped. Haddocks pitched 12 and 2/3 innings while giving up one unearned run on one hit, walking one intentionally and striking out 8. He was charged with a loss. No other pitcher in AL NL history has pitched 12 or more innings while giving up no earned runs or no more than one hit in a single game for which he got the loss. All of that to ask. So, how many perfect games have happened in ML history is the number I'm looking for. Dun, dun,
Okay,
dun, 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 dun.
quickly, I guess we didn't. We discussed whether we were going to talk about it.
You can.
Outrageous. We're losing iconic people from our youth.
Oh,
We
yeah.
would be remiss to not mention Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, and Hulk Hogan, all leaving us
I'm going to.
recently. What?
No, go ahead. I was gonna say I was looking for his name so I didn't mess it up any worse than I want to, but the other name is Chuck Mangione,
Oh, Chuck
died.
Mangione. Yeah,
Mangione. Okay, sorry. I was gonna say yeah.
who
Jazz
was
legend.
also a wrestler, right?
He was not a wrestler.
He was
He
a
was a legend of jazz.
congressman.
Anybody, if you find the soft jazz station in your area or just put it on your YouTube station, you're probably gonna be listening to a Chuck
Yeah,
Mangione
yeah.
song.
Okay, he's not the same as Ozzy Osbourne or Hulk Hogan. Sorry. Um, I
Okay.
walk down the street. I walk down the street. We do man on the street interviews. I'm winning that bet, so I don't want to hear it.
All right, but if I play his sound, people will
Great.
recognize it. They
To
won't know his
quote
name
Derek
behind it.
Coleman, whoop-de-damn do.
He won't know his name behind it. You're right. You're right.
I
You're
just
right.
found a great tweet from Adam Carolla. He said, Theo from the Cosby Show and now Hulk Hogan, losing your 80s icons. I'm going to go check on Steve Gutenberg.
uh,
The answer is 24.
so you're saying 24 perfect games have happened in Major League history. The number then would be 24. I'd like to thank you all for listening to two THS grads taking over the latest Mets up. I'll be back soon enough, hopefully with something better to put down. Take it easy down your life's highway and have a good evening.